Welcome to the GCN Tech Show.
Oh, this week we got loads coming up. A brand new time trial bike, puncture-proof tyres, a recyclable saddle, 2 super cool new books, your upgrades, the bike vault.
And our main talking point, the global bike part shortage that's leading to increased thefts.
First up, let's take a look at last week's poll.
This got people fired up, isn't it?
Oh, I did, yeah.
Oh, right. So should the UCI make all riders use disc brakes in the pro peloton? I mean, the answer, a resounding no. 75% of you said, no, a mix of disc and rim is fine by me.
I'm not surprised by that.
Guess that settles it then.
Yeah, people have spoken.
The people have spoken.
On to the main talking point?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Now then, it's no surprise that some components or parts are incredibly hard to get hold of. They're either out of stock, meaning you can't get what you want, you've got to choose an alternative product, or you've got to wait an incredibly long time.
Yeah, and there have been reports that there's been an increase in bike components being stolen. Things like cassettes, derailleurs, shifters taken off people's bikes, a practice known as bike stripping. And this is rather alarming that this has happened. But before we sort of get onto that, let's first address why there is a shortage.
We've been giving this a good think over here at GCN Megabase because we're not immune to these problems. We've got delays with parts arriving, some stock completely unavailable. And it was only last week that we had to completely strip all of the parts off one of Connor's bikes to build up another one. Although we haven't told him yet.
It's true, we haven't.
Yeah.
Let's begin with the first and most obvious reason, and that is COVID. There's been factory closures for periods, there's been delays across the supply chain at all levels, and this has just simply led to less output of new components and bikes. The other thing in the UK as a particular thing is Brexit. This obviously doesn't apply to the rest of the world. But in the UK, there's been delays with shipping and imports and exports coming in and out of the country, which has caused problems as well. It just
creates like a lot of uncertainty, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
So all of that coupled with the sort of boom in cycling means there's been far more demand for products, and that sort of created the perfect storm, really.
The perfect storm.
Over the last year, there has been a huge increase in the number of people taking up cycling, which is a great thing. However, it has led to an increased demand for bikes and the components, which the manufacturers just can't forecast ahead that much. They don't know what to expect. And they do plan very strategically so they don't have excess stock left over, which is, well, quite ironic given the current situation, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great to see more and more people taking up cycling in the boom, but wouldn't it be better if the bike brands could meet the demand for the components? But our friends over at Road CC have reported that there's been a sort of, this increase in bike parts being stolen and stripped off bikes. And they've actually spoken to bike shops who've said that there's been an alarming increase of people coming up to bike shops asking for their bikes to be fixed and presenting them with just a frame and like some wheels on it with no shifters, and things like cassettes have been stolen and derailleurs and chains and all sorts. And we're not talking about Dura-Ace here. I don't think anyone leaves Dura-Ace locked up in town, but it's
105 group set of people
and below, just parts below that. And if you go on any sort of online used marketplace, auction sites at the moment, you can see that there are used products on there, chains and cassettes being sold because people can't get them from the big online retailers because they're not in stock.
They're quite an inflated price some of the time for used components, especially drivetrain components that obviously are susceptible to wear. He's saying it's a part that's already used and had some of its lifespan gone, and it's twice the price of it normally would have been.
Pink Bike has also reported that bike theft has been on the increase in the last year. And again, this is attributed to just the demand for bikes and components outstripping the supply. And they've actually reported this using data that they've got from bike insurance companies who have seen an increase in insurance claims for bike and component thefts.
I guess the moral of the story is to be vigilant, lock your bike up, and do your best to protect yourself and your bike from theft, which leads us on to our poll for this week.
Yeah, we're really keen to find out if within the last year, have you been a victim of bike theft and or sort of component theft from your bikes? Head over to the GCN app and vote. Time now for Hot Tech, and we're going to begin with some new saddles from Selle Italia. They're called the Model X Green Superflow. Yeah. Alex, tell us about it.
Well, this is Selle Italia's steps into making far more sustainable and environmentally friendly products, because first off, this saddle is made completely at their HQ in Italy, so it's got a minimal carbon footprint about it. But some of the tech specs for it, do you want those?
Yeah, hit me.
So this saddle weighs in at 299 grams. It's obviously the boost saddle, so it's a little bit shorter. It has a width of 145 millimeters and a length of 245 millimeters. Alloy FEC rails, round 7 mil, so compatible with most of the saddle rails out there. And I think one of the most striking features for this saddle is its total gel cover on the top, because unlike traditional saddles, it doesn't have a foam insert, and it's got absolutely no glue used in its construction.
They were actually trying to hide these from us when we visited Selle Italia HQ, when myself and Manon visited back in, when was that, October, as it was just the prototype then, and it was top secret. But I do understand that they are fully recyclable, which is key, because carbon fibre is not very recyclable, whereas this material that's made to make this saddle is. It's nice to see bike companies moving towards
that's it. And
greener.
It's just a nice little feature to see that there's going to be sort of minimal waste left over from this. And something I forgot to mention, which I thought is quite cool about this saddle, is it has a special antibacterial coating on the top.
Oh, that's good, isn't it?
It is very good.
Next up, right while watching the excellent GCN Plus coverage of the Volta Catalunya, I spotted a new time trial bike on the Stage 2 time trial.
Did you?
Rigoberto Urán, sneakily riding on a new Cannondale time trial bike. Definitely not the super slice that we've seen in the past.
Details a little bit thin on the ground with this, aren't they?
Yeah, well, Cannondale haven't officially launched it yet, but it's coming clearly now.
Hopefully it's going to be fast.
Yeah, it's the big distinguishing feature that allowed me to spot it was that the seat tube was much deeper than the Super Slice has quite a thin aero seat tube.
You've had your tech binoculars out, haven't you?
I have, but yes, stay tuned. When we find out more, rest assured, this is the place where we will we'll let you know about it.
Next up, the Smart Tyre Company, that is actually their name, have developed an airless tyre using technology developed by NASA intended for their planetary exploration vehicles. And this is completely airless alloy tyre, intended to be used on bicycles. It features the elasticity of rubber, but apparently the strength of titanium.
Yeah, incredible looking thing, isn't it? It's like a sort of metal sponge.
Yeah, it's very weird looking, but could it be the end of a puncture? Who knows? Well,
it could be, but I'm sure they'll have their own limitations. I mean, presumably they do wear away.
Presumably they do wear away, and interestingly, as it's they call it an alloy airless tyre. I'd be interested to find out what the grip and the comfort of the tyre is like.
Yeah, and the rolling resistance.
Oh, that's what you'd be interested in.
Does it beat latex inner tubes? That's what I want to know. Next up, we've got a book. Well, we've got 2 books this week, but this is the first one. So Aero expert and GB pursuiter and time trialist Dan Bigham, friend of the channel as well, has written a book called Start at the End. And it's about reverse engineering problems and applied to a cycling context, but he reckons you can apply it to other parts of your life as well. But it's really interesting. So using his experience, he's always been someone who would say that he's not physiologically the strongest.
Yeah.
But then using creative thinking and looking at what the end goal is and then reverse engineering backwards and saying, how can we get there? And then detailing that process. So it's pretty cool. There's some stuff in there about how he created the pursuit team that won the
I really like his approach to stuff. I think it's good, yeah.
There's a cool bit in here about they created like they create top trumps cards for the pursuit riders in his team. And sort of then fitting the team, looking at the strengths and weaknesses of the team that they had. Yeah. How could they get the best out of those riders in the event, rather than saying, this is the event, we need the best riders.
Yeah, they were one of the team pursuit squad. They were one of the first teams to trial sort of using one rider right at the very start, weren't they? And then losing them quite early on and finishing with 3, Interesting approach.
But it's really interesting, and there's loads of aero geekery and engineering geekery in here. So
I've got a good quick question for you about this book. Do you read it in reverse?
No.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
Final bit of hot tech this week, and Shimano are celebrating 100 years of manufacturing expertise. And over that time, they've built some incredible products, and they're actually releasing a commemorative photo book, well, to commemorate their 100th anniversary.
It's like Book Week.
It is like Book Week. So there's going to be 2,000 books available, which are only available by pre-registration with a lottery draw to try and help keep it fair for everybody. And it's a photo book, so it documents some of their sort of historical innovations in technology over that time.
Sounds cool. Do you want to know some tech specs?
Oh, I'd love to.
264 pages, 333 millimeters by 265 millimeters by 30 millimeters are the dimensions of the book.
Wow, what about the weight?
They didn't list the weight. They also didn't specify if there's going to be a slightly heavier 105 version either.
Book of the people.
Less pictures, slightly less pictures.
Yeah, black and white.
I reckon it's going to be worth loads though, this as a collector.
I think it's really cool, like just to commemorate
nice.
the cool stuff they've made over the years.
Yeah.
Cha-ching! It's now time for screw riding upgrades, buy upgrades.
Where you submit upgrades you've made to your bikes, equipment or cycling lives for the chance to win the ultimate prize, a GCN water bottle. You submit your upgrades and the evidence of them using the GCN app, and we will judge them on that. Anyway, first up, we need to go from the results of last week.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I felt sorry for Blue is too awesome because, I mean...
They were up against Manon's custom painted track bike.
Manon stormed away with it, 72%. But do you know what? We can't send Manon's already got bottles. So
she's got plenty of water bottles.
Blue is too awesome. Get in contact. We'll send you a bottle. Yeah. We'll send you Manon's bottle.
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah. Right. Who have we got first this week?
This week we've got Gwen Doylan, who says, like the title says, this whole thing was rattle canned and covered in bar tape, but wasn't actually rusty too bad underneath. They've got experience working with metal, took everything all the way back to the bare metal, avoided replacing any functional parts, and just accepts for the consumables, the crankset and the wheels are the only non-original parts.
I mean, it is a really sorry state of affairs when those first pictures and you look at the...
I've never seen a bike covered with tape over the frame.
Yeah, and then there's like all the sort of corrosion on the chain set and the brakes and stuff. It really...
Yeah. It was in a sorry state, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, that is incredible. Like, I love the little white bits against the blue. It's really nice.
Oh, and the lugs, the white lugs. Yeah. That's a nice
also,
touch.
you look at those chain rings, you look at like what they were and how they've just been scrubbed clean. It's great.
God, they can clean my bike.
Yeah.
Right, who are they up against this week?
We're up against Stall Force, who says that he found this frame on eBay and decided to upgrade it to get a nice commuter. What are you thinking? Strip the paint with some chemical stiff. I think that he means chemical stuff.
Maybe a typo in there.
But it didn't work as well as he was hoping, so he ended up just sanding it. He's put on a load of little details, he's done a paint job, he's upgraded all the components, he's put a new Miche crank on there, new Miche BB, or Miche, as some people pronounce it. And he's put a rather nice Selle Italia saddle on there. What do you make of this?
Oh, nice.
There's his Stevens.
Two bikes with similar approaches this week. You know, taking the frames right back to the paint and to the frame, and then painted them up. Well, I like that design with the white line.
Yeah, I've not seen a bike with that kind of white line paint job accentuating the diamond shape of the frame. But
very
that's cool.
Stealthy, isn't it?
It's cool.
Gold chain. I mean, that's always a winner.
Yeah, I mean, as a commuter, that's a seriously cool-looking single-speed commuter.
But it's obviously not down to us, is it?
No.
No. So head over to the GCN app and get voting on which upgrade is your favourite.
I wonder if that's his garden.
God, big garden.
Yeah, it's a big garden, yeah.
It's now time for the Bike Vault,
where you submit pictures of your bikes and we judge them to be nice or super nice. If they're deemed super nice, Alex rings the bell and they get committed to the Bike Vault for eternity. You can vote on all the bikes featured and submit your own using the GCN app.
I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to do a quickfire one again. Everyone loves the
quickfire Bike Vault. Right, first up, Ben Tantasuk 8. His crit bike. He says he's 15 years old. What do you make of that Diamondback?
Oh, beautiful. Really like that.
I mean, it's clean, isn't it? Look at how spotless that chain is. You can eat your dinner off it.
Super nice for me.
Super nice. Next up, auto and aircraft.
Interesting. Giant TCR 2021. Oh, another good bike.
Ooh. Oh, he's ticking the boxes.
Yeah.
Ticking the boxes. Not quite in Biggie Smalls, but that's a super nice, isn't it?
Super nice.
Yeah. Robert Bennett, 10963.
Felt OZ. Oh, how's that slid through with the wrong way around?
Non-drive side.
Non-drive side.
Not even in focus.
Oh dear. And
Try again. Nice.
yeah, sorry, nice. Yep. Next up is Rod Riley 19 with their specialised Red Hook Crit Alley Sprint. God, I do like this bike. I had one of these. I had one of these a while ago, although it was just plain black.
That is tasty, isn't it?
Yeah, I do like those paint schemes.
Not lined up the front wheel, not in the Biggie Smalls. Oh, nice.
Nice. There you got it here, yeah, sorry.
Francescosini _ official page.
Wouldn't want anyone thinking it was not the official
Not
page.
the official Francesco. Francesco Orsini with his Aston Martin Corsa Strada.
Whoa, 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 hold fire.
Look at that.
Is that even real? That's not real. That's a computer bike. That's not.
A CGI bike. We've had this before.
Try to catch us out.
No. Yeah, no.
As cool and good as it does look, it's not a real bike.
Also, mountain bike pedals on it. It's got like Crank Brothers up on it. No.
No. Try better next time. So next up, we've got the Deus Maximus.
Yeah, I think.
No.
Thaddeus.
I almost pronounced that right.
Maximus.
Yeah. And they've got, interesting username, and their bike is Hercules 10-speed 1968.
Oh, it's nice.
Very retro.
Took time out of Warcraft to submit it in the app, but it's, I think that's super nice, actually.
Cranks are level, although they're like the opposite way round level, do you know what I mean?
That's okay, I can do
Okay, we're going to agree super nice on that then. It's a nice old bike, good work.
And finally last week, we've got Tom Pidcock's Pinarello Dogma F12 Ineos livery. Instant thing I've noticed where his Biggie Smalls. Wheels aren't aligned very well, and the front thing is a bit wonky. But bonus marks, he's using a long shadow stand in the GCN shop.
Really good. Nice work, Tom.
Yeah.
I presume he submitted it himself.
I can't confirm or deny that.
No, let's hope so.
I think he may have done. What are we going to go for?
Oh, that's
he's only young.
Cool.
He's only young.
He's only young.
Little 21-year-old pidders.
Yeah. It's a cool bike. I'm saying super nice, definitely.
All right, super nice.
Super nice for the final one.
Yeah. There you go. More Bike Vault next week.
Unfortunately, that's it for this week's GCN Tech show.
Yeah, it's sad, isn't it? But don't worry, we've got loads of cool stuff coming up. Sai has done a first look on the new classified rear hub system, which is it's pretty amazing. Yeah. And I'm going to go and do a time trial on this now, actually, for another video. So
I'm not doing that.
Yeah. Well, you're fixing up I'm
fixing up an old bike.
Yeah. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of that awesome
See you next week.
See you next week. Bye.